Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Siege with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good afternoon. I was going to say good morning, but good afternoon. Wow, happy Wednesday. I almost forgot to put my mic on, man. I forgot to put my microphone on. Guys, do me a favor. Let me know real quick that you can hear me with this microphone. Let me know that everything is all good. Shout out to all those out in the podcast world. I appreciate you guys checking in. It's actually been growing in terms of play and stuff. So I definitely appreciate that. Guys, you can check me out on podcasts if you're driving in to and from work, maybe to the gym, hanging out at the gym, working out on all the major podcasts, whether it be iTunes or Stitcher or what is it? Spotify. It's the Crypto Siege. Oh, loud and clear. Okay, perfect. Very, very cool. Good to see you guys today. Guys, let's not forget about Generational Wealth Wednesday tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time, where we talk a little bit about your traditional finance, but we talk generational wealth, how to prepare for when moon, right? How to prepare for that and what that's going to look like. Today, we're going to look into self-directed IRAs and the good, bad, and ugly. And maybe there isn't a bad and an ugly. There might not be. And perhaps a better alternative, or perhaps another alternative. We'll look into that. I thought about this because I watched Alex Mashinsky the other day, and he was asked on the AMA another interview. Actually, he was doing it with Digital Asset News, as a matter of fact. And they asked a question about self-directed IRAs versus being on the Celsius platform. So he had an interesting answer. He didn't really say yay or nay, one or the other, which I thought is interesting. So we're going to look into self-directed IRAs a little bit more tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Again, the good, the bad, and the ugly. If there are any bad and uglies, I don't know. I honestly do not know. So we shall find out. And what I think may be, I don't know if I want to say a better alternative, but another way to go. Right. So we'll look at that and kind of share some things with you guys for sure. But guys, listen, really, really excited. I wasn't even going to do a live stream today because I was going to do the live stream tonight. But I thought, you know what, with the interesting news going on today, with Kraken becoming the first United States crypto exchange to become a bank? I don't know. But Kraken has got the blessings in Wyoming to become a bank. Is it Kraken or Kraken? I don't know. But that is some interesting stuff. Did you know that the CEO has some ties from Ripple from back in the day? Did you know that? I don't know exactly the ties, but I don't know if it's simply a friendship. Or just maybe he was around back in the early days of Ripple, but he does, in fact, have some ties to the people at Ripple. I'm not coming up on Spotify. You have to search The Crypto Siege. Jamarcus, good to see you, brother. The Crypto Siege. You should find me there on Spotify. And do me a favor, if you do type that in, The Crypto Siege, please let me know. Because I've been noticing the uptick, but I haven't checked where the uptick in terms of play have been coming from. They may have been coming from Stitcher or iTunes. But if it's not, let me know, brother. Please let me know about that. That would be cool. Lucky Lloyd is in the building. Appreciate you being here. Purple Kush is here. What's going on, Purple Kush? Giuseppe is in the building. What's up, Giuseppe? Good to see you, bro. All gods can hear well. All good can hear well. Okay, perfect. XRP #1 is here. Massive news. More will follow soon. Yeah, absolutely. And I got a question for you. Is algo a sleeper, or, you know, I'm in a Discord, and I got to tell you, they got some interesting ties to algo and what algo is doing, and Algorand. And if it is in fact tied to BlackRock, yeah, we're gonna have to look into that. Yeah, we're gonna have to look into that. So we'll I'm not gonna look into that today, but I was just thinking about this this morning. If algo is, and we know algo and MIT, but if algo is in fact tied to BlackRock somehow, look, you know BlackRock is Like they got I don't know what you want, a front row seat at the table, backdoor access. I mean, they don't even have to go backdoor to the White. Like whatever you want to say about BlackRock, Treasury, they are tied in there. And if the BlackRock is tied to algo, which is what I'm seeing and reading, you know how that goes. If you got this big time footing with the United States government and the Treasury, and the United States government and our Treasury keeps coming to you, BlackRock, to help them out. Yeah. So we'll have to look into that. If anyone has any kind of ties that they can tie to BlackRock that they can share with me, that would be awesome. You can hit me up on. You can do it here or on my email, CryptoSiege@Proton Mail, CryptoSiege@ProtonMail.com. Boy, I gotta tell you, so that's some interesting stuff. But anyway, so guys, what is going on right now? I hear that, XRP number one, with that sovereign, right? That SOV token. I hear you, brother. I hear you. I have some algo, but I don't have algo like I have VeChain or XRP, right? And so, yeah, in any case. So guys, listen, crazy news. Kraken, I saw Caitlin Long tweet about Kraken getting the nod, getting the blessings for the charter to become a bank. Interesting stuff. So then I see this stuff earlier today. Shout out to Crypto Eddie for always bringing value and content to this community. She shared a little thing from Ashish Birla. And so I went to looking into it a little further, found that there were 2 or 3 articles. But Ashish Birla had said, this is what Ashish Birla said, your next bank will be a tech giant. And so he did a little write-up for Crunchbase, Crunchbase.com. Your next bank will be a tech giant. So I went to digging into that a little bit more, and then I saw a podcast that was done in 2017. 2017, and the question was, will your next bank be a tech giant? And as I got to going over a little bit of the Crunchbase article from Ashish Birla, and then I listened to that podcast from 2017. So I decided to title the stream the way that I did, because what I began thinking is there's a lot of pressure on these banks to go digital and provide better services to their customers. And how are they going to get that done? How are they going to compete with the likes of Alipay, WeChat, Google, Facebook, Apple? How are they going to compete? How are they going to compete? And I went over the article, and I'm going to read a little bit of the article from Ashish Birla. But he said, the banks stand to lose $250 billion. $250 billion to the likes of Google and Apple and Facebook and WeChat and Alipay, unless they change their infrastructure and adopt blockchain technology. So the banks are coming up on it, if you will, almost like a fork in the road. They have to make this decision about what they're going to do. And then I saw a tweet from Real XRP Boy, and I'm going to share that with you guys to kind of start that conversation. But maybe it's not really a conversation. Maybe it's just a narrative being played out. A narrative being played out is that in order for the banks to continue to remain somewhat relevant, they are going to have to adopt blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, or they're going to be disintermediated. We all know about what Bank of America is doing, and these different patents that they have. We're still trying to learn more and more about the partnership with Ripple and what that's going to look like. But maybe that's been something that's, I mean, again, this was in 2017, this podcast. And it said, will the next tech giant be will the tech giant, what's the question? Hold on a second. Will your next bank be a tech giant? That was in 2017. That question was posed. Interesting that Ashish Barela did a write-up on that just recently. I believe that write-up was in 2020. Yep, September 11th of 2020. It says your next bank will be a tech giant. Oh, so we're going to cover a little bit of that as well. But maybe it's in other words, is Ripple and XRP coming to the rescue? Are they coming to the rescue? Are commercial banks going to be done and over with? Is it just going to be central banks? And in any case, the technology applies for Ripple, and they have the answer to it. Right? I mean, if you can tell your customers you can get cross-border payments in seconds, that's a big sell, right? So if you can do that through your bank and not even have to go to your bank, right, and getting the whole Pay ID happens, and or unstoppable domains happens, they're both in the works, they're both happening. It's a chance for people not to lose perhaps so much market share. The reason why Google and the likes are going to be able to do some things is because they already have the customer base. But I'm going to let you listen to some information from this podcast, because it's, what Google and Facebook are looking to do is not so much about providing banking services. It's not really about that at all. So we're going to get into that. And so what in the world? Listen to me. I don't even know how to contain myself with this news. Mr. Yoshitaka Kitao is the new economic advisor, or is the economic advisor to the new prime minister of Japan. Mr. Yoshitaka Kitao of SBI Holdings, of SBI Ripple Asia, as the number one owner of Ripple, I believe, and number one owner of R3, stock-wise, right, is now the new economic advisor to the Prime Minister of Japan, to the new Prime Minister of Japan. What? What? He's the economic advisor. First of all, I want to almost say, I just want I just want you to think about it. Mr. Yoshitaka Kitao is busy. He's busy. He's got his hands full. Now he likes taking on a lot of different things, right? He called out the CEO of SBI Ripple Asia, like, yeah, you can do another thing. I'm doing like 8 things. You can do 2 things. I'm doing like 8 things. You can do 3 things, right? That was an interesting interview, right? So, I mean, the guy's busy. He's a business dude looking to and he's growing this conglomerate of banks in Japan. He's busy. Why would he take that gig? And let me tell you something. I know he loves his country. No doubt in my mind about that. I also know that he is the biggest fan of XRP, hands down, the biggest fan. But through and through, this dude is a business dude. Mr. Yoshitaka Kitao is a business dude. And he's got a project that he's working on, that he's currently working on. Right? This 4th bank, they're calling it, right? These conglomerates of banks he's putting together. all slated to use Ripple's technology, all slated to use Ripple's technology, all slated to use Ripple's technology. And this dude is now the economic advisor to the new prime minister of Japan, an ally of the United States. Hold on a second. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Anybody agree with me that Mr. Yoshitaka Katao is busy? That dude is busy. Anybody agree? Anybody think he's just got a lot of time on his hands? The dude is busy. How in the world, why in the world would he accept that bid? Why would he accept that gig? Certainly, the banking situation is an important thing in the world of economics. Oh man, I didn't hear Crypto Eddie talk about this yet, and maybe she's trying to get further confirmation. You know, maybe she's trying to get further confirmation. Oh man, I don't know. Maybe she's trying to get further confirmation, but this is what I'm seeing on Twitter. I'm going to share a little bit with you guys as well. But I have to tell you, that is significant news. What's going on, comedian Chuck Real? Good to see you, bro. 416 Crypto is in the building. Comedian Chuck Real says, that's like saying Trump hired Brad Garlinghouse to be the Treasury. That's exactly right, bro. That is exactly right. And Wi-Fi Lifestyles Review says, wow, this is great news. His consortium is huge. It really is. And again, I haven't heard anything from Crypto Eddie, and I don't know if it's because the different time of the day, and maybe she hasn't seen it yet. I am going to share the tweet and the article. I believe it was on like a Yahoo Finance thing or something. Oh, let me see where it is. But that is massive news. Where is that? I might have it in my other thing there, but I got to tell you, that is pretty crazy. So what is going on with the banks and this whole idea of, these tech giants might be your next bank? Let me go over this article from Ashish Birla with you guys. I think it's important because, again, this was 2020 he put this out. It says, your next bank will be a tech giant. Ashish Birla, SVP of Product and Corporate Development at Ripple, September 11th for 2020. Today, it seems that every major technology company doubles as a bank. In the past few years, we've seen the launch of Apple Card, Facebook's Libra, Uber Money, Square Cash, and Google Pay. I haven't even heard of Uber Money. All services that promise the most convenient and fastest payment service on the market. The beer code has accelerated the transition from cash to digital currency, underscoring the need for a more efficient and transparent payment system. Historically, traditional bank payments have been slow, unreliable, and expensive. Despite technological advancements over the past 50 years, such as being able to send a message across the world instantly, We're still using the same banking system my grandfather used to wire money from India to the United States in the 1960s. The method is about as effective as mailing a check. Especially in a time of global disaster, the need for easy, fast, and low-cost payment touches every corner of the globe. Consumers expect speed and accountability, especially when it comes to our money. Tech giants like Google and Apple, the latter of which reported 1.4 billion users on its platforms, 1.4 billion last year, understand consumers' expectations and are capitalizing on huge customer bases and loyalty. Tech giants have massive distribution systems, and their insight into their customers is greatly superior to any financial system. This aspect alone allows them to effectively bundle financial products. Exactly. I feel as though Mr. Burler might have listened to this podcast from 2017. So this aspect alone allows them to effectively bundle financial products into an existing ecosystem. Amazon started out selling books. Now it's the first place most people look to buy products, get groceries delivered, furniture assembled, cleaning services, watch TV via its streaming service, and more. Super apps in Asia, such as GoCheck and Grab, have been able to successfully introduce new products and capabilities to provide the most comprehensive suite of services through their platforms. I want to read this part here again because I think about their customers is I want to point this out and make a note because this is important. Tech giants have a massive distribution system, and their insights into their customers is greatly superior to any financial system. And that insight into their customers is ultimately the real deal. Let me share another thing with you guys. We probably will go back and forth between these two articles. Felipe, how are you? You're in Belgium, huh? Well, welcome to the channel, Felipe. Good to see you here. Yeah, love that Celsius brand. I hope you're a fan of Celsius, Felipe. 416 Crypto is in the building. Good to see you. Yad Man Crypto, what's going on? God, man, Crypto Dre, how are you, my friend? Mr. Hellstorm is here. John Stoops, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. So let me share this a little bit of this podcast with you from 2017. Because I think it's important to remember this is something that was been thinking about. They've been thinking about and talking about for years now. So this is Rebank, Banking the Future. And the guy that's being asked the questions and interviewed is Alessandro Hatami. And he's a former group innovation director at Lloyd's Banking Group and current managing partner at Forest Street. So I'm going to go ahead to like a minute. Let me play this for you here. Alessandro brings a grown-up view to fintech, working closely with incumbents on fintech strategy. He has great insight into the way larger players are positioning themselves and changing FS landscape. Today, we get into what big tech players are likely to do with regards to banking and what that means for banks.
Provide a whole series of services to the customers because they have become part of the life of the customer. So a lot of people right now engage very much on these social networks
to disrupt their business. I'm sure in many cases those people are right. If you look over the past 10, 20 years, that's Tencent, their business. I'm sure in many cases those people are right. If you look over the past 10, 20 years at some of the industries that have been disrupted by big tech, and what's remained for the incumbents, it's a bleak picture if it does happen. In your view, how are things likely to transpire in banking and financial services with regards to the arrival of big tech?
I think what's becoming really evident in the digital world is that understanding the customer and be able to serve the customer where the customer wants to be served, understanding not only the UX and the EX, so user experience and customer experience, also understanding the motivation and fitting within the customer's life is the key that actually drives adoption of financial services. In the past, that was watered down. So financial services providers think of themselves as retailers that sell loans and mortgages and extensions to your overdraft. But customers don't think that way. They don't think about financial products. They think about end outcomes. So I don't wake up in the morning dreaming about a credit card. I wake up in the morning dreaming about going on holiday. And the credit card is a means to that. What the likes of GAFA have understood is that they are able to provide a whole series of services to the customers because they have become part of the life of the customer. So a lot of people right now engage very much on these social networks for their everyday needs. And the social networks want to remain the key point of reference for these players. So it's the logical next step, after having engaged with all the selfie videos that you can put in and all the messages that you can send to your friends, is to say, how can I extend my relationship with the client, with the customer? And I do it by providing a financial product. And you see a very good example of this with WeChat in China, where they started off by being a traditional social network a la Facebook. And they started adding services that can be bought on the platform through very simple interaction, just by choosing to do so. And the financial service has become something in the background that enables the customer to live the life that they want to live. Now, today, the GAFAs that you mentioned, each one of them have a different incentive in actually developing these type of services. And the interesting thing is they are...
Pay very, very close to this. Again, this is December of 2017. He says the GAFA, right? Google, Apple, Facebook, and Apple. And they have very, very different intentions behind why they're providing these financial services or looking to provide these financial services.
Able to do that today because of the drive for the opening up of the banking APIs. So through APIs, in theory, Facebook tomorrow could provide you a really good interface to the banking world without being heavily regulated as a bank would be, and by providing a very rich solution for you that is embedded within your life. So why would Facebook do that? Because of the banking revenues? No, because they want you to come back to use Facebook more frequently so that they can sell advertising, sell your data, et cetera, and make money out of the fact that you're on Facebook. So that said, they are willing potentially to forego some of the revenues that are generated by a financial product and give that as almost for free, just for the fact that you are going back to them. Similar story for Apple. The only incentive there is they want to sell you more boxes for Apple. The same incentive for Google, because what Google will want to do is to make sure they complement your search data with your transactional data. And for Amazon, because they want to go deeper and deeper with your purchasing activities. So what's interesting, what's different about these guys compared to the fintech startups is that, one, they understand the customer very well. Two, they have a brand recognition. Three, they have all the skills and necessary to create the most beautiful user experience and customer experience that they can create. And lastly, they have tons of money and tons of customers. And they become a formidable challenger to this, to the financial services providers.
Wow. Yeah. And so I think it's so for me, what I think is important to note there, and this is why I feel as though the traditional banking system is not going to have any other choice but to adopt blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, because, they have the competition from the likes of Kraken, for example, who just got a banking charter, right? There's another competition in Google and Apple and Facebook and Amazon. That's another set of competition that can drag away, grab market share, take away some customers, right? But you also have the upholds of the world, right? You have the upholds of the world, and you also have places like Ripple as well. Remember, Ripple started a department offering the loan, being able to offer loans to SMEs. So how are these banks going to be able to compete and not lose market share? Right? Not lose market share. What they're going to have is a differentiating technology. Now, we can talk Google, we can talk Apple, we can talk Facebook and Amazon, but they don't have the technology in terms of cross-border payments that the Ripple has. They don't have the software like Ripple has in terms of agnostic interoperability. They don't have that, right? Right? We hear about the whole thing with PayPal and Venmo. Same people own them, I believe, right? Same ownership, I believe, PayPal and Venmo, but they can't. PayPal people can't hook up with Venmo people, right? I believe Brad Garlinghouse gives that example, right? Brad Garlinghouse gives that example, right? And so what the banks are going to need something is that it's going to separate them from Uphold, if you will. It's going to separate them from Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon. And there's a technology out there that exists that does that, right? A global interoperable platform that is agnostic. It's right. So it's the gold, it's the tokenized assets, right? That's the differentiator, right? In addition, they get this massive upscale in their infrastructure, right? Upscale. What is the word? Is it upscale? They get this massive overhaul in their current infrastructure, right? Right, a massive one, right? That's going to, in my opinion, that can be the thing that separates them from the likes of Google and Apple, Facebook, and Amazon, right? So it's not going to be just any blockchain technology or just any distributed ledger technology. What's going to drag the Google customer away or the Facebook customer or keep them, if you will, banking with them, is being able to tell them that anything of value you'll be able to move through our banking system. Anything of value. Right. And so they're going to need a big time differentiator. The great thing for Ripple and how they position is they can service they can service the banks, they can service FIs, they can service SMEs with their technology. It doesn't matter. They can service the central banks if the commercial banks don't adapt to it. They can serve the governments, right? The technology, because of the interoperability, is a game changer. Right? It is a game changer. So they have to do something. And what they're standing to lose is really, really, really massive. So they have to pivot. Somebody said they have to adapt or be left behind, right? That's right. Central banks can still utilize XRP on the DLT, right? On the distributed ledger technology. Exactly. That is the major add. It's the major advantage that Ripple's technology provides. And they're going to need a differentiator. They're going to need something that gives them an advantage that makes them stand out above and beyond everything else. And again, they don't have to necessarily make this big announcement. Brad Garlinghouse has already said that Ripple is in behind the firewalls of the banks. They've already said it, like they're a blockchain infrastructure company, right? What these banks will hopefully or probably will be doing is announcing the different things that they're now being able to provide, you know, and on the third page in their website, it'll say powered by Ripple or something like that, right? It'll be in the background, but they're going to have to do something to compete. And what the banks will announce out loud is probably, you know, being able to send anything anywhere in seconds, right? Something like that. Right. Or they're going to lose big time market share. And Ashish Birla says it's pretty significant. $250 billion by 2024 is what I believe he says. Where is that at? I saw that comment. Now I can't find it anymore. Right? And so they have to do something. And so I think, this has been in the works again. When you say you're behind the firewalls of the banks, there's a reason for that. And behind, the central banks, right, as well, there's a reason. Because it still makes me believe, it really still makes me believe that there's going to be this flip of a switch type of thing. It really does make me believe that. The good thing about Ripple is they're very nimble and they can pivot and adjust. They can come, right? They can go attack a solution. And if they realize that there's even bigger problems to that particular attack problems rather with the solution. And if they realize there are bigger issues, or maybe it was a problem 1.1 instead of just problem 1, they can pivot. They're nimble. They can adjust very, very quickly, right? Light on their feet and can pivot in a heartbeat. Traditional crypto, 416 crypto said it. Traditional banks must adapt or be left behind. That is exactly right. That is exactly the truth. So let me share a little bit more from Ashish Birla with you guys. Because again, I think it's important. This guy, obviously he's making a point with what he's doing, but in his article, an infrastructure advantage. Any successful tech company has an advantage over technological infrastructure alone, as it will be built on software with the latest technical developments in mind. Those companies are designed to evolve along with the current climate, unlike the antiquated software banks typically operate on. While tech companies are built to continuously stay up to date, large banks such as Wells Fargo and Capital One are still mired with aging legacy systems and frequent, widespread system outages. In the United States, financial services app Square recently received a banking license from the Federal Deposit Insurance Company for its lending division's Square Capital. This past December, ride-hailing company Grab applied for a digital banking license in its native Singapore. But what about banks? A report by Accenture predicted that by 2025, banks will lose out on $280 billion in payment revenue due to competition from digital payments and non-banks. This is from Accenture, guys. So it's more than $250 billion. What are they going to do? In order to keep up, banks must modernize their infrastructure and turn to blockchain to create new, innovative financial services. Blockchain is faster, more secure, easy to track, and more globally accessible than the existing banking system infrastructure. While it currently takes 3 to 5 business days for cross-border transactions at a bank, payments can be made in seconds with a blockchain model. On average, the digital asset XRP completes transactions in 3 seconds. Traditionally, mobile wallets like Venmo and Alipay have been viewed by banks as a threat because they offer consumers a cheaper, faster way to make payments. But banks would do well to start looking at entering strategic partnerships with services like these. The mobile wallet market is expected to surpass $250 billion by 2024, offering a game-changing advantage for those who capitalize on the potential for partnerships instead of struggling to compete. Hello. Banks have the opportunity to keep pace with those who are pushing the industry forward, expanding reach and proving even more profitable by connecting with the unbanked and emerging markets. And between the underbanked and unbanked, it's about 4 billion people. about 4 billion people. If banks don't want to be left behind as tech giants take on payments, it's paramount that they modernize their infrastructure or make strategic partnerships or both. Otherwise, the future of payments is owned by the likes of Facebook, Apple, and Google, all of which already have millions of consumers at their disposal using adjacent products and services. I absolutely love this. All of this doesn't necessarily signal the end of the road for traditional financial institution, but the already steep competition will only ramp up as the beer cold accelerates and deepens the hit on banks' bottom line. Shout out to Ashish Burler. Nice job, my dude. Very, very nice write-up, my friend. You see what I'm saying? The writing is on the wall. Mr. Blockchain 22. Yes, I reported on that earlier in the stream. Kraken has got the license. Looked like they're going to be doing something in Wyoming because Caitlin Long was out there singing the praises, congratulating them. You know what I mean? It's going to be, it's an uphill battle for these banks to stay relevant. And I'm not sure if they're going to be able to. I really don't. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to. They have an opportunity to stay relevant. This is what Ashish Burl is pointing out. They have an opportunity to stay relevant and offer services that are above and beyond what Facebook, Apple, Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon are offering and look to offer. They have an opportunity. Banks have an opportunity. Will they capitalize it or not is really ultimately going to be on them. Central banks, like we reported yesterday with Dilip Rao, are making that move. Central banks are they're pivoting and they're adjusting and they are embracing Ripple's technology in a big time way in the EMEA area and the APAC region in a big way. In a big, big, big time way. Rafa Kamen had a very, very interesting tweet about the ties between the UAE and who did they just recently have this peace agreement with? Did you guys see that on Twitter? That was a very, very interesting tweet. You know, this peace, right? A reference to the kind of the end of the petrodollar system and what they're going to be looking to move into. Right? It was a very interesting tweet. Hopefully I can find it and I'll share it with you guys. But again, these banks, they have the option is available for them. This new financial system that Executive Order 1372 points to and addresses, signed by the POTUS, put together by Mnuchin and his buddy. What is that new financial system going to look like? What is it going to look like? I don't know. I don't know. But I do know that they mentioned Ripple in that new Executive Order 13772. What's up, Silver XLM Steve? Good to see you. Crypto delivery, making moves every day, huh? Good to see you, brother. 007, Dennis. Hope PolySign will become a big bang and they flip the switch thing. Yeah, you and me both, bro. So look, Ripple has plans, whether the banks choose to participate in it or not. And I'm not sure if anyone is naive to believe that PolySign won't somehow, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, leverage what's going on with Ripple and its technology. I just don't see how that happens. Legendary is in the building. What's going on, Legendary? I mean, so that is good news for Kraken that, they got the bank thing. Kraken wins bank charter approval. We are thrilled to announce that the state of Wyoming has approved Kraken's application to form the world's first special purpose depository institution. Well, how about that? Tentatively called Kraken Financial. Headquartered in Cheyenne, Wyoming, Cheyenne, Wyoming. Kraken Financial is the first digital asset company in the United States history to receive a bank charter recognized under federal and state law, and will be the first regulated United States bank to provide comprehensive deposit taking, custody, and fiduciary services for digital assets. From paying bills and receiving salaries in cryptocurrency to incorporating digital assets to investment and trading portfolios, Kraken Financial will enter Kraken clients in the United States to bank seamlessly between digital assets and national currencies. Yeah, that, my friends, is an interesting deal right there. And they're not going to be the last one. They're not going to be the last one. They're not going to be the last one. Yeah, you know what I mean? They're just not going to be the last one. The great thing for us, thank God, is that XRP can be used as a bridge currency, as a hybrid currency, to provide liquidity, as a store of value. It has so many great use cases. And then you throw the XRP ledger on there in addition to that. And listen, these are just game changers. Deep Mind is in the building. What's going on, bro? Good to see you. Salute to Katal. Yeah, let me share this, bro. Deep Mind, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Goodness gracious. Should I throw up your Coil article today, bro? Should I throw that up? Salute to Katal, the boss of bosses. Oh, I got to tell you, Deep Mind. I don't know if you heard me in the beginning of this live stream, but Katal's son is busy. I mean, this dude he's making moves. This is the same Mr. Yoshitaka Katal that has the biggest stakeholder in, I believe, in Ripple, the biggest stakeholder, I believe, in shares in R3, is the CEO of SB Ripple Asia, is the dude behind this fourth revolutionary bank, or this fourth bank in Japan, with this conglomerate of, is it 58 banks? And this dude Deep Mind, he accepted the position. He accepted the position of the economic advisor to the Prime Minister of Japan. What? I'm like, are you kidding me? He accepted this position. You think he's going to educate some of the people there about the benefits of XRP and utilizing XRP? In this Japan, the ally to the United States, again, I will say this. Are you telling me that Japan and the UAE and the APAC region and the EMEA region and the MENA region, whatever you want to call them, they're going to sing the praises and utilize Ripple's technology to save their country all kinds of money and provide better services to the end users in their respective countries and regions? And the United States is just going to let that slip through their fingers. Is there any doubt in anyone's mind that Mr. Yoshitaka Katal will have his banks using XRP? Is there any doubt in anyone's mind? Any doubt in anyone's mind? Now there was no doubt before, this recent appointment. Now the dude is the economic advisor to the Prime Minister of Japan. What are they going to use? Bitcoin and the banks? What are they going to use for their cross-border? Ethereum? They're gonna hop on the EVM. Whoa. Nothing much, big mind, deep mind. We were talking about will the next let me read it. Will your next bank be a tech giant? That was from a podcast in 2017. And then in 2020, Ashish Burla did a write-up on Crunchbase, crunchbase.com, and he said your next bank will be a tech giant. And I said, unless they adopt Ripple's technology, because Ripple's technology is a game changer. Because no, it doesn't matter how awesome Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon are. They don't have the technology from payments. They don't have the payments technology that Ripple has. Because we have the IOP, we have the XRP ledger, we have XRP, we have even Codius if necessary. To make the banks that adopt it, that take the technology and use it, and separate them from Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon. Otherwise, banks are in trouble, just like we read in the article. Accenture did a write-up, DeepMind, did a write-up and said that the banks stand to lose $280 billion in payment revenue by 2025. $280 billion by 20. That's more than $250 billion. This is from Accenture. You know, we all know about Accenture's move in relationship with Ripple. Yes, he's giving out bonuses and gifts to bank employees and XRP, right? Yes, exactly right, Legendary. He is doing that. And the biggest fan of XRP is now the economic advisor to the Prime Minister of Japan. Think about that. Just think about that. He's got all these partnership with these exchanges, right? Let's not forget about Bread, the BRD, and the company behind that, Blockset. Japan is going to make this move and this announcement because they don't have to play the games that the U.S. has to play. And they don't have to. They're not beholden to Bank of America and Morgan Stanley, right? And Citigroup. They're not beholden to any of those. And this guy is putting together this conglomeration of banks, and I believe it to be 58 banks and probably growing, to create what Miss Crypto Eddie says is a fourth bank. They got they have the app right now that is supposed to be using XRP, and I can't remember the name of that app right now. Money Tap, I believe. Missy, again, this is the biggest fan of XRP. This is a guy who's committed. He's committed to making the XRP ecosystem work. He's now the economic advisor to the Prime Minister of Japan. I'm not sure how much more bullish you can get. That's right, Legendary. Comedian Chuck Real said the same thing as well. That'd be like Garlinghouse and Mnuchin's position. Exactly. Oh, wait a minute. Someone's saying this not true. Wait a minute, guys. Did I just go on and on and on about something that's not true? Saying that that's not true. A deep mind. Someone is saying that that is not true. You know, I had this suspicion about Crypto Eddie because she didn't do anything on it. So guys, we may have to hold back on our excitement. We're gonna have to hold on our excitement because this might not be true. And I started off the stream, Deep Mind, with saying that I found it odd that we hadn't heard anything from Crypto Eddie. I thought maybe she was sleeping, you know, the different time of the day. But I did find it interesting. I didn't hear any responses from her on Twitter saying that that's not true. So this might not be true. This might be a way to get people excited about something in the community, and it's not a real deal. Like that has never happened before in crypto Twitter. So we're gonna have to hold off on our excitement. We're gonna have to get the official word from Crypto Eddie. You're gonna have to get the official word. If she comes out and says it's not good, it's not true, it's not true. I also said, you know, how in the world? This dude is busy. How is it that he would accept this position? So maybe it's not true. Yes, I know of Jerry Hall from On the Chain. Yep. So we got Jerry is saying it's not true. Stop. Jerry Hall from On the Chain saying not true. So we're gonna have to get an official word from Crypto Eddie. But I got to tell you, if it is true, holy moly, we got to get an official word though. What's going on, Dakota? Good to see you. Good to see you this afternoon, my friend. Yeah, so we got to get the official word on that. But so, guys, here's the deal, and I want to point this out. The podcast that I share with you from 2017 is from 2017. Will your next bank be a tech giant like Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon? Ashish Berler in 2020 does a write-up in Crunchbase that says your next bank will be a tech giant. The banks are at a crossroad. They're at a fork in the road. They have to make a decision on what they're going to do. The central banks, it feels as though the central banks are making that. According to De La Rue, they've made the decision, especially in those particular regions, the APAC region, the EMEA region, and the MENA region. They've made that decision. Central banks have made the decision, adopting this technology, hugely bullish in adopting the technology and sharing it and saying that these other banks in these other regions should adopt it. So they're making the decision. We have to find out what's going on with Bank of America. I mean, what's this, the second or third largest bank in the U.S.? We got someone here saying Catal's appointment is legit. Okay. We'll have to see. Cinzio Katsi, can you confirm that? What are your sources to confirm that that is legit, my friend? Oh, that's interesting news right there. Cinzio Katsi, can you share some information that you know that makes that information about Catal legit? Bro, XRP, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. Siege, I deposited a high 4-figure check into my bank yesterday. Within seconds of doing so, I checked my account on my phone and the full amount was there. No 5-day wait outstanding. You know, I've actually noticed that as well. I haven't been saying anything about it, but I've actually noticed that as well. Like it was instant. You know, usually it was, you know, that kind of stuff is not instant, right? Even if it's one that within the same thing, it was still waiting. Yeah, DeepMind, absolutely. She definitely will clear it up. So I got Cinzio Katsi saying that Catal's appointment is legit. So we'll have to find out. We'll have to find out what the word is. That would be, oh my God, I would have been doing streams about that for forever. So we'll have to get the official word. I think Crypto Eddie will be the best source for that being the official word. Yeah, Dakota Shipley, there was some information on Twitter today that Mr. Yoshitaka Kitao was appointed the new economic advisor to the new prime minister. I don't think that's ODL, bro, XRP. I don't know if that's the new Fed now thing. So that was the latest, Dakota. But we gotta get the word from Crypto Eddie on that before we get too excited about that. Because what I was saying from the beginning is, how in the world, like, Mr. Katao is busy. How is he accepting? How is he accepting, a position like that? You know what I mean? How is he accepting that? So yeah, and I said too, Darcy, I said on the stream today, like, I thought it was odd that Crypto Eddie was not reporting on that. Right? I thought it was odd that she wasn't reporting on it. I mean, that would be big news. Yeah. So yeah, I think the big thing is because, listen, it is, don't put it past crypto Twitter to post some fake news to get the community excited, get the community amped up. It's been known to happen before. It has been known to happen before. So let's get the official word on that first. I think from Crypto Eddie, because again, I did have caution in that I didn't see her responding to the different tweets. I didn't see, her saying that's not confirmed, or seen a video about it. So Fiat is King is in the building. How are you, my friend? Mr. Yoshitaka Katao is the CEO of SBI Holdings and SBI Ripple Asia. He's a 10.5%, 11% owner in Ripple, the company, and of R3. He is the biggest fan of XRP, in my humble opinion, out of anyone in space. Cinzio Katsi says Reuters confirms. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see. Reuters confirms it. So we'll have to see. I'm sure that if it is not true, Crypto Eddie will let us know. She's on the ground there in Japan, right? So we shall find out about that. All right, guys, listen, I got to wrap up this stream. Again, I do believe that the banks have an option. And if they don't want to be left behind and left in the dust and disintermediated, if you will, they can adopt this technology from Ripple and have a significant advantage over Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon. They can, but they have to make the choice to do so. And regulatory clarity obviously will help them in making that decision. We're closer and closer with the 48 states coming together, saying they're going to agree on one set of standard rules for the space. And these institutions, crypto firms. So we shall soon see. We shall see what that will look like. All right, guys, listen, I am going to wrap up this stream like I do all of my streams and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating, or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya.